Yes. Before we start, let's maybe remind everybody, how we have about an hour for this panel, where we have selected about 5 companies, well, not about, but 5 companies, ranging from e-commerce, financial services, restaurant technologies, and maritime technologies. That's what unites everybody. And maybe before we start, I would like to introduce our VC panelists. Shall we start with Emmanuel from Vertex Ventures? Please introduce yourself if you have joined. Not sure. Shall we move to maybe Ondrej from Credo Ventures? Please introduce yourself, Ondrej. What does Credo invest in? And
Hi guys, I'm Ondrej. I'm based in Prague. I'm with Credo Ventures. Currently investing out of a €100 million fund, which is our fund 3. We invest sort of in anything technology. So we're not sort of SaaS specialists or anything, although predominantly we do invest in enterprise SaaS. But we have done, consumer stuff. We had even, believe it or not, invested in hardware. So, we are very founder-centric, and we basically just look for outstanding teams in Central Europe. We invest mostly in seed. We can do earlier than that or slightly later, but seed is our sweet spot. I'm looking forward to the session.
Thank you. Please, Sakari from Vendep, introduce yourself.
Yeah, we are a SaaS specialist, and we do B2B SaaS only. Investing from our 3rd fund, just did a 40 million first close, so still fundraising here. And we invest primarily in the Nordics and Baltics. So we cover, Finnish deal flow, Estonian deal flow, and mostly deal flow from Sweden and Denmark, and then pick a deal a quarter, fairly late seed. So you also already have to have some customers we can call and validate, that you win over competition. And we focus on a very small number of investments as we do only a deal a quarter. So we try to really put 18-24 months to work with the company to get the SaaS model right and raise a large Series A then at the end.
Thank you. Yes, I see that Dmitry is writing in the chat. You should be able to join, but Dmitry's in the chat. He is from Runa Capital. Let's try to see if you can add your voice. But Runa is investing in all across Europe. They're investing from their 3rd fund, from my understanding today. They just raised a big one. So they're investing into SaaS, in deep tech, and in vertical technologies. So if you want to add more, Dmitry, please write in chat. I'm happy to properly introduce Runa Capital. And if Vitaly from Genesis is here, please also add yourself to the panel, request audio and video, and you should be able to join the session as a VC panelist. But without further ado, let's maybe 3 simple rules, guys. Please keep it under 3 minutes, since we have 5 pitches to hear about an hour, and we have about 3 minutes for Q&A. And then at the end, this is for the judges. At the end, we have a special link with you in the calendar. So once all of the pitches have presented, please go into this link, and I will share the results. And your job is to basically rank from number 1 to number 5, and number 1 is the highest, all of the pitches. So it's simple drag and drop into the Meety link, and we will announce the winner. So I see that Emmanuel has also joined and Dmitry has joined. Let's maybe give you guys also a few seconds to introduce yourselves, and then we can kick it off with the first company. Yeah, I think Anton did it very well for Runa, so thanks for that. That's all correct. I'm a partner, Berlin-based, looking into deep tech, AI applications, and developer tools. Yeah, so happy to be here.
Emmanuel Timor, a general partner at Vertex, an Israeli venture fund investing mainly in early stage Israeli companies.
Thank you, guys. So without further ado, I would like to introduce our first speaker. It's Desh, an Israeli company who's helping to simplify complex global financial data into accessible and explainable insights at scale. Guys, the floor is yours, and please go ahead.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everyone can see?
Yes.
Good. So hi, everyone. I'm Noah Pickholtz. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer of Desha. Desha is an AI empowering financial markets research and insights company. So my partners are serial entrepreneurs. This is their second fintech startup together. They successfully sold their first fintech company. I joined Desha about 1.5 years ago after investing personally. My background is more in the VC side. I was a member of our crowd's senior management. I personally raised over $100 million for startups, and I built up a portfolio of about 50 startups myself. Most US stocks don't even have a single professional analyst covering them. And professional coverage is even more lacking when it comes to global stocks. Therefore, investors are faced with suboptimal choices. Number one, do they do the sophisticated analysis themselves? Number two, do they wait for a sponsored or independent analyst report to be published, which is normally timed after those insights are fully traded on? Or do they miss out on some of the best timely investment opportunities? Moreover, for institutions, a lot of financial professionals are actually terrified that robots are coming to take their jobs. Therefore, their problems are compounded because they struggle to find interactions where human involvement actually adds value. So Desha's vision is to become like the Waze of investing. We help active, professional, and retail investors to navigate to achieve their goals with a more complete, clearer map of possibilities. We provide them personalized, explainable, and actionable insights at scale. So our clients and prospects get this. They've said to us that our technology infrastructure can do the heavy lifting for them, like a heat map, so that they can focus on higher value add activities. How do we do this? Effectively, we collect and enrich massive amounts of raw data, both fundamental and alternative data. Then we structure and process this data with our algorithms and the tech infrastructure that we've built to produce insights market-wide and instantly, so that clients can then personalize the application of this data in a fraction of the time and at a fraction of the overhead. So our tools help firms revolutionize how they scale personalization and engagement. So listening to our customers, future customers and current customers, we've productized the application of our tech infrastructure to serve financial service firms like investment firms, robo-advisors, banks, brokerages, and other regulatory bodies with these types of products like research reports on demand, custom strategies, push insights, auditing tools, etc. So we've actually converted several POCs into paying clients with some leading financial firms here in Israel. And we have a growing, robust pipeline of additional clients, both domestic and internationally, that are focused on either an asset-based strategy or a license-based strategy, either B2B or B2B2C. And our unique selling point and unfair advantages are effectively threefold. Number one is our global coverage and ability to establish baselines upon which we layer additional information customized by clients. We create network effects as users interact with our technology, with the platform, giving us proprietary data pipelines. And number 3, our insights are instantly available in multiple languages. If you go on Interactive Brokers right now, you can find our reports in English and in Hebrew, and going to be an increasing number of Romance languages because Europe is a focus for them. We are helping make our clients' services become more inclusive and accessible. Right now, we're looking to raise capital from value-add investors, particularly in the European region and US, and we'd love to be in touch. Thank you guys for your time. Do you have any questions?
Thank you, Noah. I think, the floor is open for questions, so guys, please go ahead.
So thanks Noah for the pitch. I totally see the use case, and I agree. There's a need there. What I'm struggling with a little bit is to understand the differentiation and uniqueness. So you laid out where you believe you are unique or differentiated. However, I believe there are players out there, the likes of Simply Wall Street, for example, or Stock Story, who are trying something similar. Can you comment on competition? Who do you view as your closest competitors, and how exactly are you different?
So the difference between a good question and an amazing question is a good question is I have a slide for that. An amazing question is that's the next slide. So talking about our competition, keep in mind we are a white label service. We're feeding into these financial institutions. The most similar competitor would be Morningstar for the research, and from a we'll call it a product standpoint, they're necessarily limited by the human aspect that they, again, provide limited visibility. Similarly, with regards to the fact that we're providing full visibility in the entire equities market and giving rankings on all of that, buy, sell, hold, Moody's would be another equivalent in terms of services. If you want to take a parallel in a different vertical, you've got Bondit. They would be the most similar, but they act in a different we'll call it vertical. They're focused on fixed income. A lot of people talk about Tip Ranks as a competitor. We actually view them as potentially a customer, because one limitation they have is that unless there's a human analyst providing insights, they're blind. Like, for example, Australia and China, where there's almost no coverage, we would actually potentially be a service provider for them so that they can penetrate the market. And that's actually been the scope of conversations. Was that helpful, Ondrej?
Yeah, so now I understand you're an enterprise, you're building an enterprise product as opposed to a retail product. That's
absolutely correct.
Yeah.
We are facilitating that. There's specifically with Interactive Brokers, where we push our insights to them, which drives user engagement and additional usage on the brokerage side. There's another US-based firm which is also interested in that. There are banks over here in Israel that we're in late-stage conversations with. Correct. At this stage of our growth, we are utilizing these companies as distribution. The most amazing thing that they have going for them is they are marketing machines. Sorry if that is offensive, but they're just par excellence.
Thank you guys. We have like maybe one more minute for like another questions if anybody has it.
Maybe I'll interject. So you're looking at companies that don't have coverage. Then you're looking at, a fairly small amount of data which is publicly available from them. What does the model, or what does the AI do to basically that is more than just a report consolidator, or if you understand my question, how does the model learn the needs of the end user? How does it make you a better service than a report?
So there's a lot of things I want to dissect over there. Fundamentally, what we're doing, by the way, is provide the information to the institution so that they provide it to the end customer. So currently, for the most part, those are absolutely blank. So anything better than blank is something. What we do is we put a baseline of the fundamental data. For a publicly traded company, you necessarily need to be providing on that. With regards to US companies, there's a lot more vibrant access to pipelines of alternative data like hiring, like social media, et cetera. To the extent that the investor would like to layer that information on, that's facilitated through their tiered access. And with the institutions, depending on if they feel comfortable, they will push that out. Obviously, we're utilizing bots to grab, we'll call it news stories in time. That's not proprietary to us. There's a lot of things that we're putting together that are not proprietary to us, but they are necessary parts of the experience that we want to become that one-stop shop for the relationship with the institution, because they don't want to have to go and get 1,000 different data providers. The fact that we're creating the infrastructure can have all of this, plus it's built on our proprietary infrastructure, which has global visibility. That's what we think, and customers have said, provides a good reason to have the conversation with us and grow with us. Because again, let's be honest, we are an early stage company. There are about 7 people full-time in the company, and we're looking to take the capital that we're raising right now to dramatically grow the headcount in terms of back end, in terms of data architecture, in terms of front end, and a few other salespeople. That was a lot to kind of unpack on your question, but thank you for asking it.
Thank you, guys. Let's move on. Thank you, Noam, for the presentation.
Pleasure. Thank you all for your time.
Our next speaker is Fugu, an Israeli company, a software for helping you track online payments after checkout. Amir, I think you're on.
Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. My name is Amir, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fugu. First, I would like to thank Flashpoint for this amazing opportunity. Fugu is the first service tracking online payments after checkout. We help merchants safely accept transactions they currently lose to fraud, false declines, and payment churn. Doing business online is pretty much like driving in the fog. There is limited customer visibility. You pay for your mistakes, for example, accepting payments from stolen identities. You're exposed to false accusations such as friendly fraud, and online merchants may even lose their license to sell if they accept too much fraud. The result is that merchants are forced to overprotect themselves. They conclude transactions manually, they rule out more valid transactions than actual fraud, and they ask too many questions, resulting in 17% customer churn at payment phase. You can see the impact is huge, and the business opportunity is undeniable. Take, for example, this alarming transaction. Based on information available at point of sale, our competition would most probably rule it out, meaning that valuable information revealed after the payment is ignored before actual risk even begins. Fugu takes a different approach, cooperating with customers post-payment. As delivery process advances, the system activates sensors and verifications. Signs of risk and evidence for value delivery are collected over time to make the most informed decision before goods are shipped, for example. These are the varieties of signals and evidence we monitor and analyze. Based on these signals, machine learning algorithms continuously evaluate the probability for chargeback and the chances of winning a dispute. Our historical data shows a 40% reduction in false decline, while identifying 50% of fraud previously allowed in. As you can see, consumer behavior post-payments makes a difference. It allows our prediction model to clearly distinguish between valid and fraudulent payments. We respect our competition and learn from it. Our product is the first to monitor and analyze post-payment behavior. Going to market, we've identified the SMBs as underserved segment. We decided to initially cater to their needs with one-stop-shop risk solution. Looking further into the future, we are the best positioned to support innovative payment models, moving far beyond a handshake at point of sale. Our one-stop-shop payment dashboard enables merchants to review risk evolution and related signals over time, configure and automated KYC verifications, know your customer. When needed, they can also submit compelling evidences to challenge a payment dispute. The use of new payment models such as buy now, pay later, installments, point of sales funding is rapidly growing. As a result, merchants can no longer rely on outdated risk snapshot at point of sales. They require continuous analysis across the transaction lifetime, which only Fugu provides. To encourage shorter decision cycles and faster data acquisition, we have created a tiered value proposition. We are the first one in the field to provide a freemium business model with proven upgrade triggers. We are integrated and approved on Shopify, Magento, and WooCommerce. We just launched our no-touch Shopify app, and it's already installed on more than 50 shops. We have high-risk enterprise customers, and we are in final discussions for a POC with FinTech Labs and a MasterCard NLX joint venture. Uri and I have known each other for many years since Naval Academy. We met Nimrod while participating in Sigma Labs, where he was CTO in residence of Sarona Partners. Together with our supporting investors, we have formed a team with a wide perspective on payment risk that goes far beyond data analysis to consider business process and human behavior factor. We have strong advisors from top innovators in the payment ecosystems. This is my grandpa Moshe. Saying no to business was his last resort always. We think there is a huge business opportunity for weaving this old philosophy into a modern online commerce world. And we are looking for partners sharing the same vision. Thank you all for your time, and we'll be happy to take some questions.
Thank you, Amir. Guys, questions.
Amir, maybe repeat the question from previous company. Good to see you first of all, but can you talk a bit about competition?
Yes, so I would not follow the whole thing, but as you can see, the competition we have on the enterprise level, a lot of successful Israeli companies, even like Riskified and Fodor, and also a company of Vertex, I guess, Identic is also in the field. We try to differentiate on 3 levels. On the product level, we are the first one to monitor and analyze post-payment behavior. For example, email openings, returning visits to the website, form submissions. We even have the option to weave in some KYC and weave them into the prediction model as well, and provide that evolution over time. The second is on the go-to-market level. As I said, we identified the SMBs as an underserved segment in which we've created a risk hub containing peripheral services beyond the prediction tool there, such as KYC automation, as well as some representment capabilities after all. If we collect the signals for our prediction model, there's nothing stopping us from representing them. Finally, current tools are providing the risk snapshot. You can think of a stills picture at point of sale for the risk. And Fugu, since it's opening for allowing in new signals for each payment, could provide the video view of that, and for example, allows the merchant take a decision before the shipment, before he would like to ship things, based on the evolution of a risk and not just an analysis of a snapshot there. And that getting even more and more important, since new payment models are becoming more of a relationship that's happening post-payment. Think about it, buy now, pay later. You have some time there to try to mitigate risk. Installments, recurring payments. You have some actions that you can take. but you need to know and be alerted before that. We have our customers who's done risk analysis for recurrent payments for a year based on the first amount of the first month, and then they get a chargeback 3 months later. The fact that we allow them per each shipment a decision point there is very helpful to them.
Thank you. Amir, this is an exciting space. There's a real existing problem there. Fraud happen, and anybody who aims to sort of eliminate frauds is doing a fine job. What I'm interested in is learning a little more about the go-to-market, and this seems to be a very crowded and fragmented space. And also on the customer side, I feel like the customers usually prefer to solve like everything with one sort of vendor, with one platform. You only focus on the post-paid part. Are you considering sort of integrate with with other vendors to be a part of something sort of holistic? And maybe a second question is, why SMBs? Is it because you feel like the go-to-market is a bit easier there, being on the app stores of Magento and Shopify and stuff? What's the logic there? Thank you.
Okay. So first, I would like to answer regarding this holistic approach. We actually think that we are the first to provide a holistic approach. I think the current enterprise, let's look at the market of the enterprise. Let's leave aside the SMBs. I will answer that question later in a moment. On the enterprise, you have vendors who's doing prediction, and you've got vendors who's doing KYC automation. You've got vendors who's doing device signature. And actually, I see a lot of posts and a lot of traction from risk officers saying, give me a one-stop solution. So actually, we think that not focusing only and wrapping up the core capability of prediction with peripheral services, such as chargeback management and automation, is very innovative in the field. Regarding the SMBs, we are in two missions. First, we need to create traction, but also we need to record this unique data. Okay? As such, to avoid those huge and large decision cycles in the enterprise, which are very crowded with competition, we decided to go with the no-touch onboarding on top of the e-commerce platform, from which you could get customers, and we do have customers selling over $500,000 a month with 10,000 transactions, which is extremely valuable data for us. So that's kind of a first step into the SMBs. We see ourselves playing in the enterprise market. We do not ignore the prepayment data. We do take it in consideration. We do capture it, receive it, and factor it in our solution. But we'll continue to evaluate as we get more signals post-payment. So I kind of hope I answered that.
Thank you, guys. We must move on. Thank you, Ondrej, for presenting. I don't yet see Andrew from Kitchen Cup. So, Sami, shall we proceed with Awake.ai? Are you? I see you're online, but on mute.
Yes, so now I should be.
So Sami is a Finnish company, a thruster that is helping maritime operators move forward the future. So Sami, the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Okay, and you can see the presentation and audio is working fine. Okay, thank you. Yes, so my name is Sami Kaksonen. I'm the VP of Sales and Marketing here at Awake, and I'm pitching today on behalf of Eduard, the CEO and co-founder of Awake AI. Awake AI has created the biggest innovation in maritime logistics since containers and inventing steam engines, and we call this invention Smart Port as a Service. We are a team of close to 30 people leading the transition to sustainable, intelligent maritime logistics. And most of our team has background from the Rolls-Royce autonomous ships and Nokia, and has already proven a track record building innovative and software solutions together. And this team has already established a thought leadership in the industry and has approved it just won Frost & Sullivan's Entrepreneur Company of the Year award in the maritime logistics category. The business challenge we are solving: more than 90% of the world's goods are transported by the sea, but inefficiencies lead to high cost and emissions. Ships can spend up to 40% of their time at ports and sail up to 40% empty, resulting to unnecessary cost and emissions. And today, actors only know roughly 24 hours forward what is the port status. They communicate using the emails and phone calls. Planning is done with pen and paper or Excels, typically. And we can fix this by giving actors tools to plan their business better and facilitating the communication across the entire supply chain. And our AI-driven smart port and data platform is developed to bring together all the maritime actors, that seaport and landside. And we process the data and use AI to deliver value to each of the actors. For terminal operators, we optimize port call operations. For port authorities, we maximize the available resource utilization rates, for example. For ship operators, we enable just-in-time arrivals. For cargo owners, we bring transparency into cargo flow for better risk and disruption management. And for example, we are performing hundreds of thousands of ETA predictions daily basis, and we have been producing models that are up to 80% more accurate than other mainstream estimation service providers today on the market. Leveraging on the platform, we have developed a smart port as a service application that is accessible through the web browsers and mobile devices, and including the industry-leading berth planning solution and prediction and optimization models. And in addition, we are also developing a marketplace for facilitating buying and selling port services related to these port calls. What sets us apart from the competition is mostly that we are differentiating from the competition by being the only platform which offers fast to deploy, scalable and affordable multimodal prediction optimization solution. And so we are a platform company that is not just focusing one of these supply chain actors and systems, but we are a holistic option, and we can facilitate collaboration between all these systems. And now our neutral and open platform is ready for global scaling. We have already built the smart port and shipping system of close to 100 partners that work together with us to deliver the smart port solutions, since the scope is fairly huge. And we already began this transition to sustainable future. For example, Port of Rotterdam, the biggest port in Europe, chose us as their digital development partner to enable smart and autonomous ships to make port calls in the future. We also just launched the revolutionary berth planning solution with Port of Gothenburg, the biggest port in the Nordics. And we are also providing a nationwide ETA and port call timestamp service for the entire Finland through the FinTraffic. And so far, the funding has been, we have been funded by Business Finland, European Space Agency. We have collected $10 million capital loans, and now we're looking for 3.7 million more this year to accelerate the development of the platform and scaling and getting the smart port as a service to all ports and logistics chains globally. Thank you. Thank you for the time and the questions. Welcome.
Thank you, Sami. Guys, the floor is yours.
Sami, maybe I'll start. I think I mean, obviously we've followed you. You're a Finnish company, so we've seen you a couple of times. The big question still on my mind is that as you have a holistic solution, you have to sell to multiple parties, or have you now found a way to sell to one and then start monetizing through one party? You bring so much value, but it's so many parties. Yes. That how do you monetize the and start the sale? So I guess it's a go-to-market question.
Yes, it's an excellent question. You're very you're very to the point. So this is obviously a very complex environment, and we need to start gradually. So we have selected now the port authorities and the terminal operators as the main actors that we are helping with. So, and you saw that although this platform, the smart ports by nature is very generic, now we are building the individual tools, for example, that can capitalize this data and AI insights for different roles. For example, the port authorities and terminal operators can use now the berth planner to optimize their resource and throughput of their of their operations, and so that's where we're going to start. And then obviously later on, when we can scale this, then we are approaching more to the hinterland size as well, and we could approach the cargo owners and freight forwarders directly, sharing this information as well, directly to the end systems, or then using our applications as well. But yes, it's like eating the elephants one bit at a time.
Maybe Sami, thanks for the pitch. It's great. It's one of the pitches where, you know, I always sort of think that the end game looks so attractive. You know, if you manage to convince all of the stakeholders to use the solution, it's a no-brainer. It's amazing. The tough part is though the journey, the you know, the path to the end game. And to build up on what Sakari asked, I'm wondering why do you believe now is the right time? So it's a timing / go-to-market question. What we see with industries, with old industries to be disrupted, is usually that something changes, a new technology is available, or there's just a urgent need to change the status quo. What do you believe is this trigger to disrupt the maritime industry? Why is it a good time now? Thank you.
Yeah, good question. So, well, there's a couple of things. So first of all, the IMO has set a clear target for reducing emissions by 2040, was it? And it needs to be reducing the emissions by 50% to compare to 2008 levels. And digitalization is one of the ways how you can achieve those results, even using your equipment. I mean, you don't need to build a new ship with the more eco-friendly engines, but you can actually use this one. So there's a couple of things. So an EU, for example, is setting some legislations and are building single windows for European wide. So things are getting more digitalized now, and there are clear like dates and objectives and goals that is paving the way for this one. And obviously the early the first ones in the market, like say Port Exchange to Port of Rotterdam driven initiative, have been talking about this already years and years, but now we're getting this feedback. Now finally the sustainability is really becoming a topic. It's not just a talk in the business plan more, but there will be actually concrete things that needs to be taken care of, and we would be the tool then to capitalize those benefits.
Thank you, Sami. Shall we proceed forward? I see that Andrew from Kitchen Hub has joined.
All right, thank you.
Kitchen Hub,
I'm here.
Company who's navigating all the online sales for your restaurant. Andrew, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're on mute though. Please unmute yourself.
Sorry. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Okay, guys. Sorry. My name is Andrew. I represent Kitchen Hub, and what we are doing. We do revolution in a restaurant industry. What means revolution? Because restaurant industry is changing right now, and the main key to this revolution is virtualization. What does it mean? Virtualization in everything in restaurant. It means virtual brands. It means virtual kitchens and so on. And a Kitchen Hub will be the main part of this revolution. Let me explain what we do a little bit more. Oops. Sorry. It's a little bit lagging. Okay. just imagine we have a client who running about 18 virtual restaurants based on his dark kitchen. So he need to run about 60 different sales channels that he use for selling his food online. And what we are doing, we aggregate all online channels for all restaurants for all his virtual restaurants, and simplify his management online. So our model is quite simple. It consists from two revenue streams. The first revenue stream is usual SaaS, and we get about $50 per month from every restaurant. And the second part is going from managing, helping to manage to transfer restaurants customers from more expensive channels to less expensive, and we get $1.5 per order for this transferring. What about our unit economy? It's health, and we getting about 4 and more LTV to CAC ratio. Let me explain why. Because we are focusing now, our go-to-market strategy is focusing on partnership with virtual brand companies. So we believe that it will help us grow even faster than we currently have now, because such partners grow in their network as well, and they become our partner that bring us to their network. Sorry. We have competitors like Quadrant, Charlie, Kuba, Otta, but we believe our focus on virtual brands and virtual restaurants help us be different from them. And our go-to-market strategy is a key point for this. So we believe that total addressable market is about from 3,000 to 5,000 restaurants in US, and we have great closing time because we partnership with companies. One of this company is Triver Eats, another one is Local Culinary, and we built. We're on track on building with another virtual brands company partnership as well. Also, we have good customer relationship service, and this helps us to get churn rate as low as possible.
Thank you, Ondrej. We'll try to keep it under 5 minutes. So, guys, if possible, let's switch maybe to Q&A. We have also one more page beside you guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Which countries are you covering now? It's a local business, right?
We are focusing on the US market currently, and we have a lot of clients around the US. We're not focusing only on some local markets.
Okay, so the traction you're showing, that's the US traction, basically.
Maybe a question from my side. So there is a public company called Olo. Like, how do you guys differentiate versus them? Because they're like very big and they power already 60,000 restaurants.
Yeah, we know about Ola, and we know that their main strategy is focusing on big chains, and they provide something similar, but more focusing on online ordering. It means orders from restaurant websites, while we're focusing more on aggregating order across any channels, any sales channels like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, any delivery company that have main representation on US market. We're working with them. So we're also focusing, like I say, more on virtual brands and virtual restaurants. This is an emerging market and growing very fast, and we believe we can be on this way to grow on with this market.
Understood. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Our last but not least company, it's also a company out of restaurant technology. It's Papu, a Polish company. It's an order processing system dedicated to automating your restaurant delivery. Emil, the floor is yours. Please proceed.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't get it.
No, we're pushing forward with the next company. Thank you, Andrew.
Okay. Good.
Emil, can you hear us? I don't think we can hear you. I think you're still on mute. No, I'm not sure what's... Fortunately, we can't hear you though. Can you try without the headphones? Maybe that'll help. No. Can you share your audio? That might be the problem, that you haven't shared all of your audio and video. Well, you share in the video, but maybe not the audio in the browser. Running an online event is always challenges.
Hear me or still not?
Yes, now we can hear you.
Finally.
Great.
Great. Sorry. Sorry. Really sorry for that. Okay, so I will present our solution. Great. My name is Emil. I am CEO of Papu.io. We are SaaS for restaurants, and we brings automation to restaurant market. We are focused on restaurant strong and deliveries with own drivers. That's our niche. Today we have a great team and almost 40 people, and I'm really proud of it. And we have 4 departments, and we work remotely. Now, some information about our company. We have over 300 customers in Poland and in Germany. And what is really important for every SaaS business, our churn level is very low. It's below 1%. It proves that customer really loves Papu.io. We have created our solution based on our previous experience. I would say that we are an experts in the restaurant market because we are operating with restaurant owners for over 6 years. And at the beginning of the company, we were delivering food from restaurant to the customers. And after 3 years of very hard work, we found out that we found out some real challenges in this business. The biggest challenge for a restaurant strong in deliveries is to properly manage orders. Just imagine that in typical restaurant with in-house customers, main task for waiter is just to be nice, to know the menu, to take an order, and to serve the food. Sounds like a perfect job for almost every student. While the same waiter in the restaurant strong in deliveries has totally different role. Also, he has to be nice, he needs to know, or she needs to know the menu, but has to, during the very short conversation with the customer, decide on delivery zone, on taking into consideration traffic, give the customer delivery promise time, needs to know where are the drivers, when they will be back, how to manage orders in the kitchen, and how to effectively plan delivery routes, and many more job. And we have to remember that the same work needs to be done with orders coming from every sales channel, also with online sales channels. This position, all tasks for waiter are all about data. That's why at Papua.io we call this person data collector or data manager. We have to remember that every his or her decision is connected with customer satisfaction and customer reviews. Now you can see how crucial it is to find the right skilled person to multitask operations. Due to actual COVID situation, many experienced people left restaurant business, changed job, and they will never come back. Our goal, our vision is to replace human decision in the restaurant delivery business, not only because of lack of people, but also because of actual situation. Delivery market grew significantly. That's why restaurants needs Papua.io, and that's why restaurants want to stay with us. Here is some information about Papua.io, short picture, and thank you. That was my presentation. I'm waiting for your question, and sorry for the beginning of this presentation.
No worries. Thank you, Mil. Let's guys have a few minutes for quick Q&A before we vote.
Do you take care also of the delivery, or
No,
you use
no.
third party for this?
No, we are doing also software, only software. Yes.
But you optimize the delivery, or
all
you
process
just...
from the beginning till the end, till the delivery.
How do you guys?
And you connect it to the back door, to the kitchen. You know what's available, how to manage.
Not yet. We are working on it, but our goal is to manage all process from the first contact of the customer till through the kitchen till delivery. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a quick question from my end. So there are a few companies that just focus on delivery for like e-commerce and other brands like Deliver, from Israel and many others. Mm-hmm. So how do you compete with those that are just focused on the delivery as a horizontal solution and not a vertical one?
Sure. I mean, our target group are restaurants strong in deliveries with own drivers. So we are not competing with this type of companies. How to stop it like this?
Understood. I guess, guys, we have heard all the pitches in Vertical AI session. There is a link to remind everybody on the judges side. There's a link in your calendar on Mentimeter. Let me maybe share my screen.
Anton, Papua.io is not there. It's this pre-metric. Is it?
We have 1 second. Yes, let me switch it. We had one company, I guess, yesterday. 1 second, sorry. It should be correct now. And let me share the screen. Can you see my screen? Yes. So once you vote, guys, you should see results on the screen. Once the most interesting part of the pitch. We have 3 votes, so there should be, I suppose, 2 more. Actually, 3 more. There should be 6 in total if Vital has joined us. Eduard, I know you're not on the video, but you can still vote. I saw that you were in chat from Reflex Capital. Well, let's wait another minute. But it seems like we have a leading candidate. Yes, I believe we can call it. The ones that are on the screen, judges have voted. And I would like to congratulate the Wake AI. So the guys are progressing to the final. I would like to thank every judge member who participated in the discussion. Oh, there's another vote. Now it's clear that Wake AI has definitely voted for them. So it seems like a clear winner is Wake AI that progresses to the grand final at 3 p.m. UK time. Sami, we kindly ask you to pitch again in front of a separate panel of judges. And yes, we have the next session starting in about 2 minutes. So I invite you to join the horizontal session. And we also have a networking lounge and EIF and IFC and then Santa Capital joining in about 30 minutes. There's a session on on investing into private markets, funding funds of funds. So also invite you to join if you have heard of enough pitches for today. And thank you.
Big thanks for everyone.
Thank you, guys.
My pleasure.
Congrats, Sami.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the trust. We'll see later today then.